budget-friendly and all-around versatile steak dinner. Today in the test kitchen, we're talking London Broil. Okay, let's set the record straight. London Broil is something that you recognize, but it's not the specific roast or steak. It's the cooking technique. And the technique is great for the not so shining stars in the meat case, like the flank or the top round. But they're the cuts that are feeding families, and they're very budget friendly. Don't miss my important tips for the most flavorful and tender London broil techniques you've ever seen. Let's do it. First up, let's get our marinade made. This is very easy to do and takes no time at all. All of the ingredients are mixed into a bowl, or in my case, I'm using my measuring cup. I give it a quick whisk, and then it's ready to go. So when you pick out the beef that you're going to use for your London broil, traditionally you could use a top round roast or a shoulder roast. And today I'm using a Certified Angus Beef shoulder roast. These two cuts are known for their low price point, and look at the marbling in these. You're gonna have a great eating experience with this. I love to use a Ziploc bag for marinating. It makes the cleanup so easy. So in goes my roast, and all I do is add in my marinade. It's as easy as that. I'm gonna get this into the fridge to let it start marinating. Our marinating is done, and we are ready to get our London broil in the oven. I'm gonna pull the roast out of the marinade and put it on a cutting board to pat it dry. But be sure to save your marinade. Even though it's been used, we're gonna put it in a saucepan and we're gonna reduce it down to act as our gravy. Using a paper towel, just pat both sides dry. Adding a little bit of oil really helps develop the crust when we put this in the oven. And I'm just using salt and pepper on both sides, and we are ready for the oven. So I'm lining my baking sheet with a little bit of foil because we love an easy cleanup rack. But one of the keys to the London broil is using this rack. This rack helps the roast cook evenly in the oven and gives it a little bit more airflow underneath. Before we go to the oven, I make sure that my rack is positioned at least 3 to 5 inches away from my broiler. This helps to make sure that the contact between the broiler and the beef is perfect to create that great crust. Normally you wouldn't use a marinade that's already been on raw meat, but because we're boiling it and we're simmering it for a long time, like that 10-minute mark, it's going to be able to be a garnishing sauce for this roast, which will add the absolute best finishing touch. We've broiled on one side for 15 minutes, and now I'm gonna flip and rotate my pan and put it back in for another 15 minutes under the broiler. This all helps ensure an even doneness when we're finished cooking. Our roasting is done, it looks beautiful, and our London broil is ready for resting. I want you to get really comfortable letting your beef rest for half the amount of time that it was cooking. Resting ensures that all of those juices stay within your beef, and when you slice it, you don't have a messy cutting board. And by this time, your marinade has reduced beautifully, so I'm gonna drop the heat just a little bit. Now we can go slice our roast and get ready for plate up. And look at the doneness. This technique is foolproof, and this cut of beef is perfect for this. Paying attention to slicing against the grain and keeping the pieces nice and thin will ensure a tender bite every time. Before I taste this, be sure to like and subscribe. This smells incredible. And this is the beauty in a budget-friendly cut like this one. It drinks up that marinade, and it's so, so juicy. Your whole family will love this. Join us next time here in the test kitchen.